family, welcome to this Surface Code. On this Surface Code, I want to take a look at Dr. Abel Damina, who exposed the false doctrine with results. You know, like things that is happening nowadays in churches that they are false, but they still give results. Yes, faking miracles, but at the end of the day, there's results. Like Abraham, when God told him to use the rod to touch the rock, but he hit on the rock, but yet there was still water for the Israelite to drink. So he explained and exposed so many things that are false in churches, in nowadays churches, that they are really false, but they still bring results, which doesn't even say it is real or it is the truth. The only thing that can expose truth is truth. There is nothing, no two ways about it. So you expose the false doctrine with results that is in the Bible and that is happening in churches nowadays. So I want you to take your time to watch this video, and I'll be right back.
That you did something and there was result doesn't mean it is right. Moses struck the rock, water still came out, but that was false doctrine preached with water coming out of it. PJ, read for me John 20:22 again.
And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, Receive ye the Holy Ghost.
So now we have said he didn't put his nostrils on them. Come close. You uncle, you there? No, that's not what he did. That's not what he did. And when I started ministry newly, they taught us that that's what he did. So when we prayed for people, say, come close. So sometimes because the air coming out of our nose is weak, it cannot give us the falling on the ground of the people. So we now do and people don't be falling all over. God honored his word and had mercy on our ignorance. Because at the time of ignorance, you were like, not at this age now will I go around doing. No, I know better. But we did it too. Me, I did it plenty. Come close. 25 of you in the next 2 minutes cannot stand where you are. Ushers, watch. You hear boom, 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 boom. Yeah, all over the place. We did it doesn't mean it is right. That you did something and there was result doesn't mean it is right. Moses struck the rock, water still came out, but that was false doctrine preached with water coming out of it. So that you did something and things happen doesn't validate it. Truth is not validated by miracles. Truth is validated by truth. It is truth because it is truth. It's not miracles. That's in the core result. God in his mercy loves man. He will bypass man's foolishness and have mercy on people and do his work among people. It's not a validation for the foolishness of the preacher. It is his mercy towards the people that are ignorant of what the foolish preacher is doing. Am I teaching here? Yeah? Is God's mercy? Many people are saying, but we did it to have result. It shows where they are. Because people who know that result don't validate truth. Truth is truth because simple. Otherwise, people go to native doctors and they get results. People go to soothsayers and diviners and sorcerers and necromancers who invoke dead people to talk to them. And their dead fathers come to talk to them about family issues. And it's so real. But the fact that it happened doesn't mean it is true. It's just a familiar spirit that is conversant with that family that came out of the dead or that came out of the tomb and spoke with the person. The dead and the living have nothing in common. They never connect. Say, I hear you. They never connect. They never connect. They never connect. That's why I show you how Moses disobeyed God. God says, speak. He struck. Yet God allowed the water to come for the people. But dealt with Moses. Told him, you've done it, eh? You won't go to the promised land. That's your punishment. You will not have the credit of taking them in. Moses didn't need the promised land anyway. He was not interested. Because what they were going for in the promised land, he has already seen it is Christ. And he knew that that land was empty. So why will I even waste my time going? I don't need the journey. But the painful thing for Moses was not that he didn't go. Is that he didn't have the credit of taking the people he brought out to their destination. Joshua had to do it for him. And to show you that Moses didn't lose salvation, because preachers will now use that to teach laws of salvation. That's why on the Mount of Transfiguration, when Jesus showed up, Moses and Elijah appeared with Jesus to show you that there is no friction in heaven. Oh, these guys are still in good records. And when Peter misunderstood the vision and turned it to a worship service, Moses disappeared. And a voice came out of heaven to put the record straight. This is my beloved son. Oh, this is the one that will represent me well. Hear this one, not the other ones. You have missed the point. So let's correct before you start worshiping three different things. Teaching good tonight. Yeah. So now the breathing there is not is the Greek word emphosao. EMPHUSEO. That's the word breath. EMPHUSEO. It means to blow into something, like when you blow into a balloon and put life into it. To blow into something. Now, it's not an external action, it's an internal action. Internal. So it cannot be It is breath from within, not from outside. It's an internal work. It's not on their head it happened. It happened inside them. So how did he do it? For him to have breathed on them from inside.
It shows that a result does not validate truth. Truth validates truth. It doesn't mean that if the false prophet does miracle money, does the perform miracle, it doesn't mean that it is true. It doesn't mean that if a false prophet preaches and then teaches very well, means that it is true. It doesn't mean that a false prophet prophesy and the prophecy looks real, means that it is true. This is just too deep for a carnal man to understand. We need to learn, unlearn. We need to learn, relearn, and unlearn. There are so many things about Christianity that is so deep that we need to know. You can see a lot of false doctrine that is happening in churches nowadays, that people can even use the Bible to validate it, to say, they will use Bible, they will quote scriptures for you to back whatever they do up. Like the soap seller. Yes, he will use everything. He will look for one story in the Bible that does not even relate well, but maybe made mention of names. Salt, he will use the part in the Bible to validate his nonsense. So you can see the way it is now, that I believe the false doctrine that is happening nowadays in churches now, it does not say they are true. They are truly from God. This is a big revelation to most of us that don't understand, either don't know. So it is high time we wake up. It's high time we wake up from our slumber to understand the core gospel of Christ, to know more deeper about things of Christ. Any which way, whatever you think, you can drop in the comment section. This is more deep. More yet to come. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. God bless.